Before you finish wrapping your Christmas gifts, just know Bunny and Clyde, Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy, Wendy and Eddie Osefo were all wrapped up in fur, Chanel bags, and cashmere. And yes, Wendy and Eddie, showed up to court like it's the Met Gala. Wendy, who walked into her December 19th court date looking like she had a Bravo confessional at 3 and a judge at 4. Happy Eddie? That smile looks a bit stressed. We're going to talk about it. But first, I want to. Hello, everyone, and as promised, here is an update on Wendy and Eddie Osefo's December 19th court date. As usual, social media is buzzing and not over the court proceedings, but about their fits and glam on December 19th. Eddie's smile looked a bit stressed for good reasons. The couple is accused of lying about a 2024 burglary where they claimed 450,000 in designer bags and jewelry was stolen while they vacationed in Jamaica. Prosecutors said Wendy and Eddie Osefo actually have very little money and are buried in debt, claiming investigators found 67 credit and debit cards and 4 luxury wallets, including a Chanel wallet previously reported stolen. Prosecutors said many items were returned for refunds before the alleged break-in and accused the Osefos of insurance fraud, conspiracy, and making false statements to police.
And this is the diamond anniversary band worn by Wendy after it was reported stolen in the home burglary. And important to keep in mind that this was posted April 28th of 2024, and the burglary allegedly occurred April 7th of 2024. And we have more information coming out from the defendant.
Defense called the subpoena of 8 years of financial records a fishing expedition meant to embarrass them, arguing cards were expired. Now the defense has a point if the cards are in Eddie and Wendy's name only, because people often opt for cards with lower rates. Aliases were only used for package deliveries. Judge said he is inclined to side with the state. So now they have a trial for April 2026. And this is the source from Ellie Wolf via the Baltimore Banner.
Wendy K. Williams think the Osefos will serve jail time, whether it's the maximum 15 years or 6 months or whatever. Do you think they'll ultimately serve jail time?
If they are convicted, they will serve time. And part of that I don't like, in the sense that if that was Mary Jo and Bobby Smith, I don't know that I would give you that same answer. They're first-time offender. If they are convicted, they will be first-time offenders. It is a non-violent crime. Not saying that it is a harmless crime, but it is a non-violent crime. We all can agree on that. And certainly we have seen cases where people get probation and what we call non-custodial sentences. But to me, this sheriff's office, this state prosecutor have already told us, Carlos King, that they are making examples out of these wealthy, famous Black people. They are. We know that from the press conference alone. And we also know that Clock T, when that state attorney came out and one of the first things he said out of his mouth was, don't think of insurance fraud as a victimless crime. He didn't have to say that. Did you clock T on that? Because I did.
Yeah,
that was making sure the first foundational premise of his remarks was that this impacts you and me. This impacts every American that holds an insurance policy in any capacity. And all of us are impacted negatively when people go about the business of committing insurance fraud. All of our premiums rise. All of our coverage decreases. He went into all of that first and foremost. That is an indicator, Carlos, that they intend to be as harsh and scrutinizing as legally possible in this particular matter. And I don't like that. I will tell you objectively whether the Osefos are guilty or not is not my business, or even at this point my concern. What I am concerned with is the fairness of this process right now. And that indicates to me that there is a tipped balancing of the scales as it relates to the intentionality going into the case. And I do not like that.
Wendy Osefo joined the Real Housewives of Potomac in 2020 with her husband Eddie. She's a political commentator, author, and professor known for her outspokenness. Together, the couple has portrayed a lavish lifestyle on and off the show. They often showcase designer clothes, first-class travel, and luxury goods. But the fraud case now raises questions about whether their wealth was real or staged. The charges could damage their public image and Bravo careers. Wendy and Eddie's storylines as academia would have been enough for me. Now look at your storyline. Now keep in mind the type of trouble they're facing. Fraud. Being accused of living beyond their means. But in Wendy's fashion, literally, her and Eddie came to court dressed to the nines. I guess she knew that she would be filmed and recorded, and she wanted to look her best. I wonder what character they were in, Bonnie and Clyde, Pam, Oliver, and Eddie Hennessy, or could they be Wendy and Eddie Osefo? Social media slams Wendy and Eddie overboard courtroom fashions. Photos shows her arriving in designer furs, full makeup, and luxury accessories. Critics say she is still trying to maintain her image despite legal trouble. One user on Lipstick Alley wrote, "Why is she going to court in full glam? Still trying to stunt." Another said it's going to come back to bite them in the butt. Online reaction shows fans are frustrated with what they call performative behavior. So let's get into some more of the fans' reaction because, baby, the internet clocked in early. Wendy showed up to court in full glam. Hair laid, face beat, outfit given. I'm not broke, I'm just financially imaginative. And fans said, "Ma'am, why are you serving red carpet when your bank account is serving red alert?" People were online like, is this a court date or a reunion taping? Why is she contouring for the clerk? Sis is fighting for her life, but the highlights is fighting for his moment. The streets are not kind, and honestly, they never are. The Osefo case adds to a growing trend of legal trouble for Bravo stars. From tax evasion to fraud, several quote-unquote housewife cast members have faced charges. Bravo has cut ties with some stars over legal issues in the past, but if this case worsens, Wendy and Eddie may be removed from future seasons. Viewers are already speculating about their future on the reality series. The trial's outcome could influence Bravo's next step. So the legal road ahead looks difficult for the Osefos. Prosecutors are building a case that includes luxury receipts, bank records, and witness testimony. Defense attorneys are preparing to challenge each piece of evidence. As the trial date approaches in April 2026, more detail may come out about the alleged scheme. The case could expose most secrets behind the couple's defame. Until then, they will remain free, but under intense public scrutiny. And I will keep you informed as updates surface. So don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss out. Today's episode of Courtroom Glam, the Osefo edition. Because listen, Wendy and Eddie once had lucrative careers and a RHOP check and enough degrees to start their own universities. In theory, that should have afforded them a peaceful life with a little glam sprinkled on top. Not glam that costs more than the court fees. Whether they're swimming in money or dog paddling through bills, one thing is guaranteed. Wendy will show up looking like she's accepting an award, even if the award is just most dramatic defendant of the day. But seriously, was it worth trying to live beyond one's needs just to keep up an image? The internet will roast anyway because the fans are not letting up. They're in the comments like, girl, blink twice if the glam squad is being paid in IOUs. If you enjoyed this breakdown of legal drama, luxury delusion, and lashes that could cut glass, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Tell me if you think the glam was given rich auntie or rent is due. Because over here, we don't just watch the mess, we laugh at it, analyze it, and file it under life choices I will not be making. See you in the next one, and bye for now.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out to my family during this time. I read your messages. I can't respond to everyone, but your love and support means the world to me. It's an unfortunate situation, and right now I can't say too much, but I will say when the time is right, I will share my story with everyone. And for now, they're just allegations, so we will continue to push forward.
Okay.
I know that's right.